Sheikh Haitham al-Haddad. Sheikh Haitham al-Haddad is a jurist and serves as a judge for the Islamic Sharia Council. He has studied Islamic sciences for over 20 years under the tutelage of renowned scholars such as the late Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia, as well as the retired head of the kingdom's Higher Judiciary Council. He specializes in many of the Islamic sciences and submitted his doctoral thesis on Islamic jurisprudence concerning Muslim minorities. Sheikh Haitham is highly respected, having specialized knowledge of the field of fiqh, usul al-fiqh, maqasid al-sharia, ulum al-Quran, tafsir, aqidah, fiqh al-hadith. Perhaps those of you who are thinking, what do these words mean? Feel free to put your hands up and ask some of these the panelists. The Sheikh is an Islamic jurist, a faqih, and is qualified to deliver verdicts as a judge under Islamic law, a role he undertakes at the Islamic Sharia Council as a judge and a treasurer. He also sits on various boards of advisors for Islamic organizations, mainly in the UK, but also around the world. Okay. A gentleman called Gareth Monk, who is, he told me he was 50 years old, and he's a gardener from Bedford. He asked, how can non-Muslims like me accept that Islam doesn't advocate extremism when Muslims always go on about jihad in the name of your Allah? Sheikh Haitham.
I was not ready for the... Well, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. First of all, I welcome everyone here, and I'm really very grateful for Bedford Council for hosting this important event. And as you have said, as you rightly said, Dilly, that we really need to maybe share this kind of experience and encourage other councils to do the same. Because at the end of the day, Britain, whether we like it or we don't like it, is a country where different faiths are living together. And the way forward for Britain or any country, yes, that hosts number of people or that have a number of people who belong to different faiths, different ethnicities, is to have open dialogues and open debates where everyone feels free to express his views as far as he doesn't incite murder or killing or violence against the others. And this is the way forward for any society. And I think this is a very golden rule that we really need to follow. Otherwise, we will be living in a dictatorship that is coated by democracy, where the elite just dictate what people even should think about, and they label them, they call them names in order to corner them so they won't be able to express their views. And this is nothing but dictatorship, yeah, in a maybe a sweet way or in a sugary coated way.
But how would you answer Gareth's question, Sheikh?
Yeah, I was not running away from the question, by the way, but I wanted to give an introduction. Yeah. So basically, see, I'd like my fellow non-Muslims to read history carefully. Yes? And when they say that, oh, Muslims have nothing to do except talking about jihad and Muslims have killed this number of people, etc., etc., first of all, they need to understand what does Islam mean. This is the key question. You cannot pick a few aspects of Islam and project this deen, this civilization, or this religion that has built a civilization that since the start or since the advent of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was the main civilization known in history. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was sent 1400 years ago, almost 1400 years ago. And since he was sent as a prophet, Islam was the main civilization that governed most of the world. Yeah, it is only for 200 years where Islam retreated and did not become one of the main civilizations that govern the entire world. Now, if that is Islam, then it is not as simple as this to judge Islam through how some people talk about it, or certain aspects of Islam, or certain elements or practices that some Muslims do. This is not a fair representation, or it is not an intellectual way or academic way, or just common sense way of understanding any civilization, if I may say. So this is an important thing that we need to remember. I don't want to be aggressive in my approach. I would like to use maybe a soft approach by talking about this. If I want to be aggressive in addressing this question, I would say, okay, what about the Western superpowers? Yeah? And let us look at the last century only. And let us count the number of people who were killed by the non-Muslim superpowers all over the world. Yeah? And compare that to the number of non-Muslims who were killed by Muslims. As simple as this. Yeah? If we just look at the First World War, if we look at what America did with the Japanese, yes, I think they have killed how many? More than 200,000 people. Until now, if you count all the terrorist activities carried out by Muslims or attributed to Muslims, yeah, it doesn't come to even 1% of this number. And then, yeah, some people like Gareth and others, they say, wow, what is this Islam? All what they talk about is jihad, etc., etc. He should have a fair approach, a balanced approach, in order to understand the full picture about Islam.